Hello, everybody. Good morning. Sunday Adilaja here. Latia Hedrick. Omonike. Ladishorunke. Welcome. I'm sorry for coming late today. Obi Ojimadu. I had some challenges in the beginning with my internet, so I was late. Patrick, welcome. Niyo Lushala, welcome. Bidemi, Lola Shorunke, T.Y., Charles Smith, Rochelle White, Stella Fehitola, Oshuko, Oluwafunmilayo Dina, welcome, welcome, welcome. Anne-Marie. Let's go ahead and begin to share the link. I'm going to talk about teenagers who are already becoming young adults. How to parent 18-year-olds. How to parent a child that is 18 years old. So welcome everyone. Let's go share the link, and then we'll be ready to start today's program. And in the evening, if you have not bought Dr. Sufficient's book, you might want to have a look at that. And then in the evening, she'll be here. But before then, she'll be launching a book today. And then we will all do the Ask Pastor Sunday, after which we'll be doing the interview with her. Okay, here we go. If you have shared the link to this program, then we'll be starting the teaching right now. We'll be starting the teaching. Our parenting 18-year-old teenager. Especially when the 18-year-old teenager is already taller than you and bigger than you and making you look like you are the teenager and he's looking like the parent. So anyway, when children are 18-year-old, it takes a new responsibility both for the parents and for the child, because this is the time in their lives when they are coming to maturity. They are coming to maturity mentally. They are coming to maturity emotionally. And even physically, they are coming to maturity. So it's a time when the process of their development is accelerated and almost peaking. So they are peaking in their character development, personality development, intellectual development, and autonomous development. They want to also become autonomous at this time. He wants to establish himself, and he wants to prove that he's his own person at this point. He's ready to go out of the house. He's ready to start his own life, and he wants to prove that he's an independent, autonomous, and grown-up person. So he wants to also develop his own worldview. He wants to have his own worldview, his own belief systems, and so that he will be able to say that what he's doing, he has become himself. And his belief system are not because of what his daddy and parents told him, but because these are the things that he has come to himself. So that's why before this time, he challenges everything the parents have given to him or have tried to teach him. And begins to, agree with those ones he thinks are right and disagree with those ones he thinks are wrong. So he's much more bolder at this point. He's bold and decisive about his beliefs, about his opinion, and is able to already present to you what he believes and what he thinks. Yep. So, and he's more practical at this time. He's more concrete, practical. He knows what he wants, and he has a vision to move on with his life. But the parents, of course, could look through him and see that he's not totally grown up yet, and that he's still a child and he's still a young person, and that there's still risk in his life. So the parents still want to be there in his life and help him and give him leadership. But the parents really just need to give him not more than that. They don't need to control him, but they just need to give him, yes, leadership and support his strive and assure him that they are there for him, that he's grown up, that he's matured. The parents should be careful not to express skepticism about him and about his growth and about his development. Otherwise, he will be pushed away from the house. And don't be ironical. Don't treat his words like irony, or don't talk to him in irony, trying to tell him that it's nothing, or he's still a child or something like that. If you are joking, yes, maybe yes, but let him know that you are taking him serious. At this point, a boy like that or a girl, they want you to take them serious. So let them know that you are taking them serious and that you love him or you love her, and that you respect him as an adult, as a grown up. One of the things they cannot take at this point is that you keep on treating them like a child. They don't want to keep on being treated like a child at this time. To them, they are no more a child. To them, they might even be thinking that they know more than you already, the parents. So to them, they are as grown up as you, and there is nothing new that you can tell them. So recognize them that they are grown-ups. You don't argue with them about that, and just tell them that you are there and you are available to be able to help them and give them leadership when needed. So at 18 years old, you should help them to plan for their future. You should tell them that you are here to help them, guide them, give them leadership about the right university to go to, the choice of profession, to get admission, how to live an independent life outside the home. Make sure that they know how to take care of themselves, how to do their shopping, how to spend money, how to clean after themselves, and how to take care of themselves in college or at work. So help them to also plan their future, to understand their calling, what their calling is, and how to plan it for the future, for the next at least 10, 20 years of their lives. This time is let them know that it's important to help them plan 10 years of their life, and so that they will be able to focus on living for goals and for the purpose ahead of them, instead of just copying and doing what everybody else is doing around them. Because at this time, they just want to do what the whole world is doing, and what their classmates and everybody is doing. That's what they want to do. So just give them that leadership. Not too much monitor at this time, but more leadership. At this time, these teenagers are already, it's already easier for them to understand that, they are no more as irritated as they were when they were between 12 to 17. Now they are more cooler, they are more understanding, they are more willing to learn and to hear from you. Not totally, but at least they are more understanding. They also begin to develop understanding for other people. They begin to develop care. They begin to see their need to care for other people. They begin to see their need to take responsibility. They begin to be more adult-like, and they will be more willing to help than before. So this time, the pressure on them, the puberty, no, pressure is already going, and so they are already settling down little by little, but they are still not come out of it. That puberty period will still continue till they are 20, 21 years old. So, but it's on a lower scale than it used to be before. So, so what should they? What are the things that? What are the questions that you want to be able to? Okay, before that, let me say. So, for parents, one of the things that parents at this stage, the most important thing parents need to realize is that these children at 18, after 18, they are losing them. Losing them, not like losing them in the negative sense, but losing them in the sense that they are leaving home. And most children, most of us, you look at yourself and remember, once you leave home at 17 or 18, that is the end. Some of us, we travel abroad and you never come back to live with your parents anymore like you used to, you are living with them. So after you travel from home or you go to college or university, that is the end of your life with your parents. That's the end of your. For some of us, that's the end you ever see them. Some of the people, you will never see your child again, so you will never see your children again, and we have to face it. Even if they will still be coming back for holidays, but it's no more the same thing. The come for holidays is not the same thing as living in the house. So you will never basically live with your child anymore after 18. So from 18 years old, every parent must mentally be prepared and psychologically prepared that they are going to they are losing that child. And that child already is a foreigner to them, or is a foreign entity to them. They will only be talking on phone sometimes, or sometimes visiting each other. That's it. It's finished. When they go to the university, that's it. Some of them will meet their boyfriends or girlfriends and finish. It means then they will marry. They will never. Sure, they have been finished. That's it. They meet their husband, their wives, and you never see them again. So the most you will know about your child is still 18 years old, and that's till when it's your child. After 18 years old, it's no more your child. It's already an independent person. Even if he comes back home, he's only coming to visit you, and you're only talking as colleagues now more, and it's still so you are no more going to have that opportunity to influence his life like you did before 18. Even if you have any opinion to tell him now, he will only listen to you and do what he wants to do, because you don't have any authority or any influence over his life anymore. He's on his own, and you will not see him again. You just be seeing him in passing. It's just like you are seeing him now. You even be seeing him more often than you see him, because you only be seeing him when he's around. Even when you are in the same country or in the same city, he's in school most of the time. And after school, he goes to get a job, and that's it. That's it. You are just like relatives now. You are just like relatives, especially when he marries, he gets his own family, or he begins to live separately. Finish. That's it. So that's why I personally think that parents are supposed to be there for their children before 18 years old. After 18 years old, you don't have any influence over your child anymore. That's it. Your duty is done. They go their own way, and you are left where you are. And but unfortunately, before all these periods that are the most important periods in the life of children, a lot of the parents are working. They are busy working, and because the parents are busy working, they don't really give their best to their children. They don't even. We are always thinking that everything is ahead. We will do it in future. You will have time. You still have time. But you don't have time anymore. Any other thing that you want to give to your child after 18 years old is just in form of suggestion. So you will suggest, and they will think either to take it or not to take it. Apart from suggestion, you don't have any other weapon. So everybody's going their own way. So, so personally, that's one of the reasons that I also used to tell you people that as a husband, I think it is better for you to do your own work well, to work and make your own money before you marry. So that once you marry, you are able to, you have enough money and enough resources to set your wife free from job, so that your wife does not need to work. And when your wife does not work again, then that is a good thing, because your wife could stay at home. At least one of you will be there for the children. But when two of you are working, I know that the whole world does it, and I know that the Western world is, it's almost impossible for husband and wife not to work. But it's detrimental for your family, for your children, for their future. To get husband and wife working, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. If the fact that the whole world does it doesn't make it right, guys. The fact that the whole world is doing it and that's what everybody wants to do doesn't make it right. If you want to give birth to children and you want to give them your best and you want them to become the kind of children that you'll be proud of, it's better to be prepared for it. That's why I personally think that 50% of people in the world don't have anything to do with marriage. They shouldn't have any business with marriage. 50% of people in the whole world should just live for themselves and for their vision, for the purpose that God has for them, not even try to go and marry, talk less of having children. Because children and marriage is too much a responsibility for the faint-hearted and for people to just go inside, on the surface. It's a kind of business that is the most challenging in the world, one of the most challenging. Like, for example, I'm a pastor of a very big church here. I have over 20, all over Ukraine here, over 25,000 people under me, right? And that, for me, is much more easier than being a husband and a wife. To be a husband and a parent. To be a husband and a parent is much more challenging. To be successful as a husband is much more challenging than to make a million, to be a millionaire, or to be successful in business, or to be the big church, or to have hundreds of thousands of people under you. To be a successful parent and husband or wife is much more demanding than to be successful outside in profession. So, but I'm so surprised that not too many people see that, and that everybody is just looking and after money and thinking about survival, about how much money they make, and about work, and they die, and you just work all your life and just die. You never really get to know your kid anymore, and you never really give the most important thing to your beloved, to your children, to your family. You don't really give them any values. You don't even pass anything down through them. They are not carrying you. They are not carrying your future. They are not carrying your passion. They are not carrying your burden. They are not carrying your ideals. They are not carrying your principles. They are not carrying your value system. You are just different people. Everybody is just, it's just a body. You just know that you have a body growing up, and that's a pity. That's a pity, because in real sense, life is supposed to be much more. Life is supposed to be much more purposeful, especially when it comes to marriage. And when it comes to marriage, should not just be about trying to survive together and then you're fighting all your life and crisis and conflict. It's supposed to be a rosy journey. And for that to be, the distractions have to be removed. Even if you're going to be working, it has to be the kind of work that is connected with your destiny, with your future, and that's giving you fulfillment, not stressed up and not all kind of, what you know that you don't love to do that work, but you must, and you are being pushed to do it because that's how to survive, and that's just to make money. And so marriage is a much more serious business than most people realize. And it's a pity that even when I talk like this, people think that I'm the one that is not normal, and that I am the one that is abnormal. You know, really, the most important thing in life really is discover your calling, discover your purpose, what God sent you to do in this world, and focus on it. Marriage should be something like a secondary thing, a second thought. Same with children. Same with children. It should also be a second thought, because by the end of the day, you will discover that we are here for a very short time, and most of the time that we're here on the earth is for all kind of vanity and all kind of nonsense, really, and especially for those ones who are working. For me, I think I'm living one of the best lives in this world. I'm so fortunate. I've been living my best of life since I was 18. I mean 19. Before 18, before 19, yeah, things were, they were not in my hands. But from 19, I think it will be difficult to find any human being that has lived a better life than me. I've lived a fabulous life. It's all, I don't think anybody in Hollywood has a better life than me. I don't believe that anybody in the U.S. presidency or the White House has any better life than me. I think I'm in the first top 1% of the people with the best life in the world. And yet, I'm telling you that life, the only thing that is worth it in life is your calling. It's your calling, it's your... All other things are just people are just things that people have come up with in their mind. That you must have children, you must have family, you must have children, marriage, all those things. They are good, but they can only be good for people who are prepared for it. They can, I see people. In my own case, I am saying that despite the fact that I have maybe one of the best families in the world as well, and the best, like I said, the best life, you can ever think about. That's my life. But still, I'm saying that the only thing that is really worth it living for is to know God, know Him, love Him, fulfill His purpose, and that is primary. Family is only beneficial. Family is only a blessing if you can prepare for it and live it the right way. If you go into family without knowing the principles, if you go into family without knowing the laws, if you go into family without, can you imagine all the things I've been teaching about family? I think it's 3 months now I've been talking about family, or 2 months I've been talking about family. And a lot of people don't even know these things. How then can they even dream of being successful in marriage? And then a lot of them are working. Husband and wife are working. They don't even have time to build the marriage, talk less of being successful in it. When you don't have time to even construct something, to even build it, to even do it right, how can you be successful in it? You don't even have the time. There are a lot of things that people done wrong. They are approached wrong. They are... and you still want to enjoy it and make it. You can only have momentary, exceptional moments of joy and something, but it's going to be more of pain and burden if you are not careful. Okay, Ekonsami Thompson is saying, Pastor, can I add that marriage should actually be to support one's purpose? I agree with you, sir. I think I must agree with you. So, when I used to talk about children, and about husband and about wife, and about how husbands should care for their wives and they should not bring their wife to work. And okay, you remember I have that message, why I don't drive and my wife doesn't cook. And that message is still causing a lot of commotion out there. And people are thinking, wow, how do you then do this? In fact, some people have left this platform because I said women shouldn't marry boys who don't have a car or who don't have income, who cannot sustain them. And that they shouldn't even marry people who are telling you 50-50, being 50 here, being 50 here. That, you can if you want, but you will not have a blissful marriage. You will not have a blissful life. Your life will be full of running up and down, trying to survive, both you and that, and you know, the best way to live marriage life and a happy married life on earth is to let the man take his time first before even looking at the side of a woman. Take his time, make his money, have a good income, and be able to make everything available. Have a maid, have cars, have drivers if necessary. Make the wife find her pleasure, a hobby, or anything she wants to do, either a job or profession. But it has to be out of joy, out of fulfillment, out of free will. She has to have a maid in the house, especially when you want to begin to have children. If you want to begin to have children and you don't have a car and you don't have any help, I don't know what kind of marriage you want to. You just have a life just like the white Europeans are having, or Americans. It's just a life of working for Uncle Sam. It's just like of rush. Look at America, look at Europe. Everybody are slave to their work. There's no life anymore. Most of the life is at work. Most of the life is just trying to survive, and you work, shopping, and trying to just do something. No time for children. No time for children. It's a pity. And even they have a little bit of time for children, but you know you are not giving them their best. You know you are not giving them their best. The world system is just managing everybody. Most people in this world, though, 99%, they are owned by the world system. They don't own themselves. But in Africa, it's still so bad. It's still so good because you can still. There is not too much Uncle Sam system. It's not so structured over there yet. It's not as strong as in the West here. But in the West, though, you don't own yourself. Or don't deceive yourself saying you own yourself. And if you want to know if you own yourself or not, let me ask you a question. If you are living in the West, can you afford to live? How many years can you afford to live in America or in Germany or in England? How long can you afford to live without going to work and just do what you want? You will not work or you don't have a job. You don't need to get a job. Without getting a job, how long can you live? You can't live even for a year. Most people cannot live. Most people, 99% of people in America, in England, they cannot live for a year without getting a job. Why? Because they are slaves. They don't even know they are slaves. They are slaves to work, to job. Because if they don't have that job for a year, they are lost. They are finished. They are dead. They are wasted. They don't own their lives. They are owned by the system. That is what is called Uncle Sam. Because for you to be able to live, you have to work for somebody, get salary, get job. And if you cannot do that, you are dead. It means you don't own yourself. You are not in charge. You cannot do what you want. You cannot decide what you want. God cannot tell you to just go and not work and serve Him. You cannot just say, I'm going to serve God. Even God is not your master. Even God is not owning you. Even God is not your leader. Your leader and your owner is the Uncle Sam system, is the world system, is the system around. You cannot just live the life you want to live because you must go to work, you must go to job. You cannot do what you want to do. There's nothing as horrible as that. And despite that, the fact that you are being owned, it's just like the slaves. You remember the slaves those days? They were owned by just some wealthy individual. But now the whole country is being owned by a system. Not just a few people owning a few people, but this whole system is owning the whole country, and people are just working as if they are not human beings, as if they don't have their will. And they themselves are doing this willingly. They don't have any option. So they think that they are the ones who are pursuing to go to job, to go and get a job. Even when they go to school, the reason they go to school is to go and get a job. So everybody is working for the system. And everybody is thinking that he is living his own life, but really, they don't see it. I heard that there is a film they call Matrix. I've never watched that film. I've not watched that film, but each time I talk about this, some people tell me that there is a film they call Matrix. I don't watch film, but I've heard each time I talk about this system, somebody said some people have thought about it too, and they have tried to put it in a film that they call it Matrix or something like that. And that is for confirming what I said, what I'm saying. I've not watched that film, but so many people are saying that, so it must be true that those people also have thought about it. So the whole world system is controlling people. People are working for the world system. The world system is dominating people. So people don't have real quality time for their children. It's unfortunate. It's so sad. People don't have real time to give the best to their children because they don't own themselves. So if you don't own yourself, you don't belong to yourself, you have to work from morning till night. How can you then say you have time to do what you want with your children? When you cannot even do what you want in your own life, when you cannot even do what you want for yourself, you cannot even do what you want for God. You cannot even do what God wants you to do because you need to work. You need to work from morning to night. You cannot even obey your maker. You cannot even fulfill his will and his desire for your life. Talk less of a child somewhere there. That's why we don't give the best to our children most of the time. So our children's destiny is like secondary. It's like, we just run up and down, do what we are doing everything while we are rushing. We are giving them what we can give them while we're in a rush, and we don't really pour our hearts and soul into them. We don't, and that's why I'm saying that. Either people shouldn't even, 50% of people don't have any business to do with family or children or marriage, or get yourself ready, well prepared. Anything worth doing anything worth doing at all is worth doing well. So if you now say you want to marry, you want to have children, then get ready, get really prepared. Make sure that you become your own person. Make sure that you own your own life. Make sure that you become your own boss. Make sure that you become the owner of your time, the owner of your life. You and God. God is the owner of your life, that you totally could be, belong to. You totally belong to Him, completely could obey Him, and you could actually do anything you want for Him at all time, at any time. You can go out and obey Him. You can just go out. Do you know that in the West these days, some people cannot even God. They could hear God, or that God tell them, go to Africa for 5 years and become a missionary. Many people cannot do it because what will happen with your mortgage? Who will pay the mortgage while you are in Africa as a missionary? You can't. So it doesn't matter even if it's the holy angel who appeared to you. You cannot, because you are tied down by the system. You will not have to pay mortgage for your credit card, mortgage for your house, mortgage for your, for medicine, for medical things, and all kind of things that you need to do. So even though you know God wants you to do this thing, but you can't. And then if you at the same time have a family, then you know that, no, but my children have to go to school, they have to go to college. Is all kind of challenging. That's why, people in Africa don't even say this. They don't even know that they still have a lot of advantages. People in Africa actually have a lot of advantages because they are not so sold out. They are not so tied down by the world system like the Western world. So, and they are not taking advantage of it in Africa. It's unfortunate. They are not taking advantage of it. They rather want to live in the West. They want to be like the people in the West, and they don't know that they are mortgaging some of the best things they have. Their freedom, the freedom to choose, the freedom to serve God. Can you imagine that in Africa, people can just go to the mountain for 2 weeks or for 1 month or 2 months? Some people can be there for 6 months. And I'm not talking about 1 or 2 people. I'm talking about thousands of people. They have so much freedom. They have so much liberty. They have so much things. They are in charge of their time, which means they are in charge of their life. But unfortunately, not all of them even know the power of what they have. Not all of them are even maximizing these things. That's why the future is in Africa. Unless, the mess of Africa. No, Africa is already messed up. But for people who are smart, the future is in Africa. The future is in Africa. The future is in Africa, or not just Africa, the developing countries. Of course, if the world, that's why on one hand, it's good that this Trump guy won, because the world that was being built before this American election is what is called globalization. And globalization is the word that says that everybody must have the same values. The world must be the same, that the world is a global village, which is true. And because it's a global village, we must, everything that the West has accepted to be the norm must be exported to every other country. So every country must accept gay marriage. Every country must accept, same marriage and gay marriage, abortion. Every country must remove religion from the public life. Every country must, be democratic. And when they talk about democratic, they are talking about just, they are in their own understanding. Not just election, but you must embrace their value systems. You must do things like them. They just want to do globalization, and if you don't do it the way they want to do it, just a horrible system of capitalism. Is demonic. It is. It's just and America has been pushing this from the 50s, and then America and England, they just turned the world to a jungle. They've just turned the world to a jungle. And that's the Uncle Sam system. That is the world system, the Uncle Sam system. I'm writing a book now on Uncle Sam. Stop working for Uncle Sam. And I hope that book will come out in the new year, because Uncle Sam system is just horrible. It's just unbelievable how much people have become servants. So why am I saying this? That for a lot of parents, it's a shock to them when their children are 18. They don't even realize what's going on. Because when the children are 18, you've lost them. Because they will go to college, and most likely they will never ever come back to become your children that will stay and come and live in your house again. Because once they come out of college, they are going out of that college, they are going to get a job. And once they get a job, finish. They live differently. They live in the other states. They live in other countries. They travel abroad. They have their job. They have their house, even if they are in the same town. So you didn't give them anything really. You just fed their body. You are just giving them food and making them go to school. That's all. You don't even know them. They have not even known you. You just know that they are your child. They are your children, and they know that you give back to them, and you've lost them. Some of them get married after college, or in college, and that's it. So that's what I'm saying is that for us to give the best to our children, we must be able to know that we are free truly from Uncle Sam's system. And that's why it's wiser for you to be truly free before you start a family, before you set up family, and before you begin to give back to children. That is the best way to do it. I'm telling you the best way to do it. I know it will not happen for everybody, and not everybody will understand what I'm saying. And but I'm just telling you because, I'm an old man already. I'm 50 years old. And I'm leaving this world. I'm going home soon. I'm going home. I'm not interested in this world. I'm only here to carry out my duty. I'm going home. I'm not excited about this world. That's all. I'm not excited about here. So if you're excited about here, hold on. Live here forever. Good for you. But I'm not interested. I'm going home soon. I know going home is going to be in the next 30 years or so, but still I'm excited already. I'm already thinking I have less to be here than I've been already. But I'm telling you the truth. If you really want to live the best of life, make sure you set yourself free from the world system before you marry. And don't be married, especially even if you are not set free from the world system yet. But don't go and marry and put you and your wife and two of you are working for the world system, running up and down, and then you still want to have children. You are not doing a good service to those children. You are not serving them well, because if two of you are working and so busy and running up and down, and you cannot even stop, and even when you are pregnant, you cannot even stop working, and you want to still say you want to become the best parents, you are not going to become the best parents. You are not going to give the best to the children. It's just going to be happening by chance. It's just going to be, if they are lucky, they will come out well. If they are not lucky, they will not come out so well, because you are too busy. You are not owned by yourself. You don't belong to yourself. You are owned by the system. You are being driven. You are a slave. You have a slave master over you, and that slave master is called the Uncle Sam system. And because of the Uncle Sam system, you don't even belong to yourself. You are not even in charge. Then you want to put your wife there also, and the two of you are slaves, and you want to still have children. Just like the same thing we do in the black slavery time. When they are blacks, even though they are blacks, they are sleeping with each other, having children, but they don't belong to themselves. And they couldn't even give the best they could to those children. And so the master could do anything with those children, sell them out to another state, give them, do anything they want with them, sleep with them, get them pregnant, just mess them up. The same thing the system of today is doing to our children. Even though they give you the opportunity to have children and all that, but the mess of those children, they bring Hollywood and movies and films and, some false principles to their lives. They bring some, distractions and games and smartphones, and, you just lose your children. You are not in charge. They make you give birth to them, but you don't control them. They just mess them up for you, and you are just left there and saying, "What is this? This is what life is all about. What's happening to these children? Even when they went to school, they look good, but I don't even know if they are my children or not. I just know in my head they are my children, but they are too busy to try to survive. Also, even if they are good, they are too busy trying to survive. They are trying to make their own living. They are trying to work. They don't have time for you. You don't have time for them." That's what the world system does. That's why the best way to live in this life is for you to be, first of all, independent of the world system. Secondly, find your purpose in life, and make sure that is elevated above your survival instinct. Make sure that your purpose is you are living for your purpose rather than for survival or for just trying to make a living. That is where that is. Yeah, so, well, where did I get here in the first place? Yeah, let's keep on talking about the young people. So what do you do with young people before they leave home? Because once they leave home, it's so sad. Once they leave home, they are gone. So before your children leave home, or maybe they leave home at 17 or 18, what are the things you want to make sure that you discuss with them? You want to make sure that you put some things in them and you give them some foundation. So these things are what you are supposed to do, at least starting from when they are 15. So starting from, maybe so you could even start earlier if your teenagers are growing faster. Maybe from the age of 14, between 14 and 18, you must make sure that you discuss these key questions with them. Because once they leave your house, they have left your house. And once they leave your house, you will always be regretting the things that you did not succeed in giving to them. And they are more receptive when they stay in your house, and they are more receptive when they are younger. But when they have gone to the university and they think they are wiser than you, it's much more difficult to prove anything to them. So what are the things that you want to discuss with them? What are the things that you want to let them to know, and what are the values you want to hand over to them before they go? Number one, make sure before they leave your house, that you let them know that God sent them here for a purpose. That they are not your children, that you are not the ones who gave birth to them, that you are not the ones who sent them to this world, that God sent them to this world. Discuss purpose with them. Let them know that they were sent to this world by God, and that God has a purpose for them, and help them to discover their purpose. I have a book. That book is called Who Am I? It's on Amazon. It's on Okada Books. Look for it. Sit down with him, with your son, or give him the book at least. Let him read for himself, or with your daughter. Let them discover themselves before they leave your house. If they don't, I'm sorry, they will end up taking your place at the Uncle Sam farm. They will end up taking your place at the Uncle Sam farm. They will end up being a slave to Uncle Sam, just like you are all your life. They will finish their school, their university. They will be excited because the whole world is excited about a job, getting a job, salary, and they are just going to mortgage their lives. They are just going to mortgage their time. And they're just going to mortgage their future. The next 40 years of their life, they will be working for Uncle Sam and trying to be involved and engage in the rat race of survival. And it's all rat race. They will not realize it until they are old and too weak to start all over again. So if you don't want your children to make that mistake, to repeat your mistake of rat race, Let them discover themselves before they leave home. Before they leave home, discuss destiny with them. Even apart from my book, Who Am I have all this my series of teachings that I've been doing on Facebook and on my blog or on YouTube. Go and find the series on calling and purpose, and then let them do. You just if you need to beg them, beg them. If you need to stand on their feet, on your feet before them, stand on your feet before them. But let them make sure that they go and listen to all those teachings on calling and purpose. Let them make sure that they discover their calling. But the earlier they do this, the better. If they're 14 years old, if they're 15 years old, if they do it at 15 or 16, but they must do it before they get out of your house. My son, he discovered his calling when he was 11, 12, and he knew what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. My children, my girls, they discovered who they were from when they were already 6 or 5 or 6. So make sure that your children are living for purpose and destiny before they leave your house. Help them to discover who they are. That's one thing you want to settle with them. At least you will have peace. At least you will have good conscience before God, that at least you gave them something. You help them do something before they leave. The number 2 thing that you want to discover with them is let them learn to live a purpose-driven life every day. Let them have their life live for goals. Let them have their life planned out. You want to help them to say, okay, in the next 10 years of your life, this is what you want to do. This is what you want to achieve. Sit down with them and help them to plan out their lives. For those, some of you who don't know how to do that, you might want to go and see my HMT training that I did this November, and I think we have the recording somewhere there on the YouTube on YouTube as well. I think it's one of those list of messages that we have done. So you can you can go and listen to how to really plan so that they would live a purposeful life, a purpose-driven life. They are living a planned life. One of the problems in this life is that people don't live for what they want to live for. And if you are not having a plan, a purpose-driven life, a goal, and your life is now, your time is not planned out, a lot of winds blow your way, and you follow those winds. You go to where the direction the wind blows to. So that's what will happen to a lot of people. They'll just be following their friends, copying their work, their colleagues at work, and just doing what the community and people around them are doing. That's the only thing they end up doing. The next thing that you want to make sure that you teach them before they leave home is the power of the right environment. The Bible tells us that even good manners, they are spoiled or destroyed or corrupted by bad company. So no matter how good the manner that you have given to them, no matter how good character, how good principles, no matter how great those principles are, no matter how great the character of the child is, no matter how wonderful things that you have taught them, if they fall in the wrong company, if they get in the wrong fellowship with the wrong people, if they go to the wrong environment, that character will fall like a paper house. It will just crumble. So one of the things you want to really teach your people is your children before they leave home is the power of the right environment. Make sure that they get the right environment, because bad company will destroy, will corrupt good manners. It doesn't matter how good the manner, the character is, the manner is. It will be destroyed and corrupted by bad company. So because 50% of all the success, all who will become in life, 50% of all who will become in life is as a result of our environment. So environment is 50% in the factor of whatever will become in life, and it is only 40% that is character and 10% knowledge. So for some of you who might be interested in HMT, maybe you missed the one in November. We want to do a short one just for 4 days for students here in Ukraine. So if you are interested, please follow the link that is there. I think they will give you a link about the HMT. Yeah, and you want to read that, and we will write to the address guest@godembassy.org, guest@godembassy.org. You could write and say that you are interested. But it's so close already. It's from the 2nd to the 6th of January. 2nd to the 6th of January. So if you have enough people, we'll do it. If you don't have enough people, we might not do it. So yeah, so that's another thing that you want to talk to your family, your children about. Make sure you emphasize. When I talk about the environment or surrounding or company, I'm also talking about friends, right? So that's all the same. They're very important. The next thing you want to talk to your children about is the difference between a man and a woman, and that marriage shouldn't be their goal in life. Do everything to convince your children, especially the girls, that marriage is not the goal. Is not the goal in life. They shouldn't look forward to marriage. They shouldn't see marriage as the pinnacle of life. It's a lie and it's a deception that the whole world is living for, but it's not true. Marriage is just something complementary. Marriage is something secondary, and I would say that you have to let them know that priority must be their calling, priority must be God. Only 2 priorities in life that really exceed everything else: their relationship with God and their relationship and their commitment to fulfill God's desire and God's purpose for their life. Now, they could only consider marriage, and they should only consider marriage or children only after they know that they have come to a place of fulfillment, where they are fulfilling what God wants them to do, why they are free from the world system, and they could be in charge of their life. So if they know that they are going to be in charge of their life, they are not going to be under the control of the world system or of job, salary, and being rushed up and down, but they are doing what God wants them to do. They have enough provision. They are in charge of life. Yes, then it's worth it to go and just add marriage and children to the picture. But you don't marry, hoping that your wife will bring to 50%, the children you work with. No. Make sure that you have everything for you to be able to have the kind of life that you dream. Then you go say, okay, marriage could be added to the picture. So marriage is only for prepared people. Marriage is not just for people who are 30 years old or 40 years old. Physical development or physical age is not the need for marriage. The need for marriage comes when you are totally matured and totally ready for it. So you have to tell your children about that. So they shouldn't look at family, sex as a big thing. That's another thing you want to talk about. Tell them that the world is worshiping sex. Sex has become almost the most important topic. You go to the internet, Google. There is no more topic that is more discussed and more sought after like sex. And any film you want to see, everything is sex. Everything is ended with sex. So it is a worshiping. It is like Baal. It is the same as the spirit of Baal and the worship of Baal in the Bible. They put sex at the center of the temple, and because the idol Baal is an idol with a sexual emphasis, and the emphasis on the sexual organ. That's why the world today is also laying too much emphasis on nakedness and on showing private parts of people's body, and so it's the worship of sex. It's the idol worshiping. It's the worship of sex. Even in marriage, mainly people marry because of sex. And so you should let your son know that sex is only animalistic instinct. It is only, instinct, animal instinct. It's just animal instinct. Yes, we have it. We have to do something with that instinct. If it's there, you have to manage it or you have to fulfill it. But, you should know that it should not become the thing you worship. It should not become the centrality or the central thing in your life. And, so tell them the truth about sex, that it's mostly deception, really. It's mostly deception, and it's an instinct. It's an instinct of the flesh. And, of course, you get children through it, but, they shouldn't submit themselves to it. It's something they could take advantage of, they could use, they could fulfill, but it's not the most important thing in life. Again, the most important thing in life is their relationship with God and the willingness to fulfill his desires for their lives, to please God, and to fulfill his purpose. Yeah, I think next thing you want them to know before they leave home is that anything could happen in life. Life, they could fall, they could rise. There will be both good and bad in life. There will be both black and white in life. Sometimes they make it, sometimes they fail, sometimes they will fall, sometimes they will disappoint themselves, sometimes they will disappoint God, but they should always stand up and go. They should always arise and keep on going. So different things will happen in life. Let them know that they will not always have victory in life. Things will not always go their way in life. But they should be open with themselves and be truthful with themselves and live life of truth. And know and expect difficulties, expect challenges in life, expect tough days and good days, and they shouldn't think that it's a tragedy when things are not going their ways, or when bad days come, or when dark days come. They should just know that no, it's just life. Just like Jesus was both God and flesh, and he was both human and the Son of God, he was both divine God and man. So also it will be with us. We are going to have day and night. It's the same thing in life. We are going to have moments when we feel like we are God. We are like Son of God, like, on top. But there will also be other moments when you think that you are just Son of Man. You are just ordinary flesh with all your weaknesses and failures. So life is going to be in two ways like that, so it will always be like that. They should take life easy and take it as it comes, and know that at the end of the day, what really matters is how close they get themselves to God, how much they try to please him, and how much they, fulfill the purpose for which he sent them here. And then they should be ready. Before they know, they will be 50 like me, and they will be ready to go to heaven. Heaven is where we are really going. Everything is about home. That is our home right there. Here, we just we carry out the assignment that he sent us here for, and it's all about going home to give him report and to rejoice and to receive our reward and to be with him forever. That is what real life is about. So, well, my time is up. Let's see some of the... I hope today was helpful, and I hope you'll be able to help your 18-year-olds. And I hope, the parents themselves were helped today. I hope you are helped today. I see people congratulating a certain brother Nwosu. So, greetings to you too. And my congratulations. My congratulations to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Let's see some of our comments. And before we move on. Jide Craig said, someone said, if you are not fulfilling your dream, you are only fulfilling another person's dream. Yep. Omonika said, Pastor Sunday, listening to you made me realize so many things. Life is too short. I have seen that the best thing in life is to fulfill purpose in life, because marriage is not in heaven. The best thing in life is to fulfill your purpose. Yep, you're right. Marriage is not in heaven. And that means that it's only for the earth. It's not the most important thing. Live for eternal things. Jide said, if you go to our airports in Nigeria, you will see hundreds of white and Asians trogging into Nigeria now. They know something many of us don't know. The future is in Africa. Murunde said, I will be the first to buy that book about Uncle Sam. I want that of Uncle Sam, okay? Tiwa is saying, this thing you are saying is breaking my heart, Dr. Adelaja, but it is the truth. I realize you are speaking the obvious truth. Gift Amos says, I too know that the world is not our home. We came to fix things here, and after we are done, we go back to our maker. Davida said the world system is so bad that people who are even on operation bed discharge themselves quickly because they don't want to pay the bills piling up. Yeah. Ekonsami said, Pastor, I wrote yesterday about rapture. People were laughing. I was referring to freeing themselves up and rapturing, but it flew off their heads. Yeah. People are thinking life is all it is. Sandra says, my German neighbor left finally for Africa 6 years ago, and I was wondering why they took such bold steps, but now I understand better. Yeah, because they are slaves in their own country. In Africa, they are kings, but in Germany, they are slaves. Germany is one of the most depressed countries in the world. And English people in England, they are some of the most alcoholic dependent people in Ireland and England and Britain. Why? Because of depression. But we Africans are still excited being in Europe because of bread and butter, economic refugees. Davida said the school system is only indoctrinating people and producing more proteges for Uncle Sam. Yeah, not protege, more slaves for Uncle Sam. Me said, no matter how anyone is excited about this world, we all have to leave it one day. It's a mirage for parents to think they will have their children forever. Some parents in Europe slave themselves to build houses in Africa for their children. How they think children born and raised in Europe will live in the house they are building in Africa. Everybody is living their own imagined world. Agape said, you are right, Pastor Sunday. When my son was over 18 years old, he told me he has applied for a property he's living on. I felt cold, but he did, and now I'm chasing him with phone calls now. I get worried, but he said it's okay. Yeah, that's it. Well, I think we had a great day today. Like I said, tomorrow I'm going to be there with, tonight I'm going to be there with Pastor Sufficient. Let's go. I think we could all come and support her. She's releasing a book, and we could do the interview with her. And I'm going to do the interview with her. We could support her by getting a book. And but before then, we'll be doing the, what do you call it? The book, the Ask Pastor Sunday. And yeah, and also I hope you people are reading my MMM article. I wrote, I'm writing all these articles every day. Today, another one that's come out today, but yesterday's on, I hope some of you are able to read it, because yesterday I was really talking not just about exposing the founders of that movement, but I was also talking about the reason why these kind of crimes are much more dangerous than armed robbery. Well, another one is coming out now, or it has already come out already. And I hope you find that very, very interesting. Well, I have to go. I'm rushing right now. I have to go, so I will see you back in the evening. God bless you guys. Bye.